Here we go. Okay, this is loading while I'm in location. So I'm going to be back here. This is kind of their living room area. Then they have another room out here with their kitchen. And so I'm going to use the coffee roasting bucket, which for you guys out there, it could be a suitcase because you have to pick up suitcases. You have to be able to do that. That's one thing. The other thing, I'm going to unload it. So here's the deal. If you have a sack, or if you have a bucket, or if you have a bag of any type, don't start off with it as heavy as you could. I pulled my weights out of the top of it. So we're loading today. This is loading Monday. So when you pull this up, if you, anybody who's pulling it up on a YouTube type channel, we're going to use the lighter loaded bucket to start warming with. So how are we going to do that? So I have a bucket. It could be a bag. It could be a suitcase. Okay. And I'm going to go from one side to the other, and I'm going to take a little step. See, I'm going to step like this. I'm going to step back. I'm going to just step like this and come back. So whenever I'm warming up with a lighter load, okay, it's still loaded. It's just not loaded as heavy as 10 extra pounds on there. Okay, this is probably 10 pounds. 10 pounds is about perfect because most grocery bags, most bags that you load full of anything that you're going to go anywhere is going to be around 8 to 10 pounds, possibly. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm just stepping, swinging it over, and coming back. So here's the deal. When you step like this, you need to take your step, but then you need to really extend your back. So typically what we do is we step and we hunch, especially when we have a load. And I'm saying don't do that. So when you step, you say rib cage up, it immediately lifts you, and then you drop your shoulders to protect your shoulders. And see how I'm swinging it back and forth? Now I'll take my step, but right now I'm stretching the back of the back leg because I'm on my toe. See? Then I'm going to put my heel down. I'm going to step, swing around, swing back. So I get just enough motion, just enough load in my shoulders and I can go ahead and say rib cage up. I don't lean out over my bent knee here. I don't lean out over my toe. So that would be my test to see if you're leaning too much. So I'm going to turn to the side and let you see what I'm talking about. If I step as if I'm going to take another step here, see I'm on the back toe. There's a lot of stuff going on that back foot. But my front foot, this is what we typically do when we're ready to, ambulate forward. So I'm saying, correct that. So right now, when you have that leg out there, you're ready to push off the toe, drop your shoulders, rib cage up, and then swing that bucket around. So it's super tight here. My shoulders are down. I'm going to swing and come back. And every time I swing, I can go to the toe in the back, and then I can press down into the heel. Then I can go to the toe, swing, drop your shoulders, press down on the heel. Do it one more time. Breath, shoulders down, rib cage up, push down on the back heel. Okay? Then I'm going to bring that leg back. And I'm going to switch legs, okay? So it's just like I'm going to take a step, but I have a bucket, okay, that's loaded with about 10 pounds. It's about 10 pounds of groceries, okay? See that? See that? So every time you take a step today, I want you to just stop. When you go like this and your heel is up and you're ready to bring that back leg forward, take a look. If you're looking way out over your toe, you're doing this, you're rounding, you're coming out here. So use that as a cue, this position right here, to say rib cage up, shoulders down, and then you bring that bucket to the other side and you drop the heel. And then really pull the rib cage up, drop the shoulders, act like you're gonna take that step, push into the toe, keep your tummy super tight, press down. Here we go, act like you're gonna go and take a step, but you know, I do about three changes. I do about 1, 2, 3 changes, drop that heel, just like that, and then pull that toe back. Now, once I've done that breakdown, I'll go ahead and take a few steps, okay? And I'll just switch from one side to the other, all right? And I'll turn, and I'll go 1, switch, 2, switch, 3, switch, okay? Now ask yourself again, am I leaning out over my toe? So I'll tell you, and I don't know if Chrissy's on this. Oh, she's not gonna be on because she's got her family get together. My hip side, whenever I take that step slowly, and I try to do this, so see, we're all warming up, but we're adding load. So I'm doing this with just over 10 pounds in my bucket. But when I try to take a step and I don't want to lean into that hip, I want to use it correctly, it's challenging because I want to lock, I want to overlean is the biggest thing that you do when you're having joint issues. And I don't care if it's arthritis, I don't care if it's a joint replaced, whatever you've got going, especially in your hip, but it could be in the knee, it could be in the ankle, okay? Could be your back. You still have to train if you want to keep your independence. So see how I just keep walking here? Yeah, I keep walking, I keep changing this. It's just over 10 pounds. It's not quite 12. I think it's somewhere between, I think it's about 11 or so. But see how I'm doing? See how I'm doing? Yeah, so this is starting to prep my arms as well. I'm not coming up all the way, and I'm just going front to back. And I keep saying shoulders down, tight tummy, shoulders down, tight tummy. And I bend my elbow just enough to bring it up to get my biceps and my arms and my shoulders working and warming, okay? So this is warming, you guys, and you need to take a minute to do that. Okay, now we're gonna go into the mid-back, okay? So I'm gonna straddle my load. So it could be a suitcase again. It could be just a heavier weight, one of your weights. It could be a bag, okay? So here I am. Here's a normal 5-gallon bucket here. And I'm gonna come down here like this. I'm gonna push into my heels. And I'm gonna bring this just right to my chest. See that? My hands are right under my rib cage there. Then every time I put it down, I'm gonna go into a little deeper squat. So let me just explain that when you're doing loading and you're really thinking about your positioning, it takes on a whole different picture of lifting, okay? So whenever that I've got this loaded bucket, it's not as heavy as it could be, but when I'm in a down position, I want to really push my butt back. I want to push into my heels. I'm going to drop my shoulders. Then I'm going to come up and pull right to here. That's it. Because I'm getting those back, upper back, and shoulder muscles all worked up, ready to roll. And I'm doing it systematically, even though I don't have my normal equipment. You can do this, and you'll come and you'll walk away really using those muscles, but at the same time, protecting joints. And that's why I do these workouts in certain progressions. Okay, I've got about 3 more of these to do. Okay, so go into the heels, pull. And when you pull those in, when you pull in the shoulder blades together, make sure your shoulders are down. And then down and down. I go really hard into the heels. Then come up and come up. And come down and come down. Take a breath, take a breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose, if possible. Breath and breath. Go, go. Breath, breath. Go, go. One more. Breath, breath, and up. Okay, so here's my bucket. So now I'm going to just stand here like this, and I'm going to turn one toe out. See that? So I'm standing here just like this. This knee is soft, and I'm just going to pull this up a couple of times. So what is this? If you had a weight, it should be a pretty heavy weight, okay? Because I'm asking some of the big muscles to be doing this move. So my toe is turned out here. It's forward here. Shoulders are down, rib cage is up. And when I pull, here's what you should pay attention to. The elbow goes back. So this could be a suitcase, okay? Could be a bag filled with whatever. But when you pull that up, do not flare those elbows right now. You're pulling with one side, and you're starting to feel it through your forearm, hopefully, and a little bit up into your arm. So you just pull that elbow back, then you're going to pull this forward, switch, okay? And if you're a person that has had shoulder issues, pay attention to what we're doing here, okay? Look at your stance. My chin's in through the nose, keep breathing, shoulders are down. I got one toe out. The knees are soft, okay? As soon as you soften your knees, you're going to engage all through your core, okay? Now, I'm going to pull this up. The big mistake that a lot of people make when they're carrying stuff around, traveling, doing work around your house, whatever, is they take this out and they try to flare their elbow. That's a sure formula to injure your joint. But I've got over 10 pounds here in my bag. I'm going to really tighten in. And when I pull this up, my shoulder doesn't come up. My elbow goes back. Okay, so that's kind of important. Keep your chin down, pull, and you're going to notice that you're very different on one side versus the other, especially if you've had an injury. Okay? So you're pulling this bucket up, and mine has a little over 10 pounds in it. I push my elbow back. Okay? Tight tummy. Right back there. Okay? Now, I feel like reaching over and picking up my dog here in a minute because he's about 21 pounds. He should be 17 pounds. He's on steroids. Oh my goodness. Okay. Tight tummy. I've got 3 more. Do it with me. Do it with me. I'm doing every one of these with you. Okay? I understand, and I'm telling you, this is my shoulder that you know I have trouble with, and I can tell it's much different on this side. But persist at good form. Take a breath. I'm trying to do this workout to help you get ready for the real world. Most of my workouts are aimed at that, but this one today especially. Okay, one more. Here we go. Don't know about you, but on this weaker shoulder of mine, man, I'm feeling it a lot more. Bring that leg back, okay? I'm gonna put my little load down there. Take a big deep breath. So I'm gonna treat this right here as my chair, okay? So I don't have a kitchen chair here this morning. I'll go find one for, well, I guess I'll be back home. Here's my 5 pounds, and here's my 5 pounds. I'm gonna put them in the bucket because I'm gonna be reaching for a heavier load here now in just a minute. So here I am at my kitchen chair, let's say. So I'm gonna go out with my hands. I'm gonna reach forward, and when I reach forward, I want my ears to be at my biceps, okay? So typically what you'll see when somebody starts to do this is they'll be doing all this correctly, and then they'll bring their arms out here. Number one, if you have a shoulder issue, do not go straight with your arms here, okay? Shoulders are down, stomach's nice and braced, all right? See, braced is different than tight. If you tighten in too hard, then you don't breathe, and then you turn blue and your eyes bulge, you know, it's not a good thing. Okay, shoulders are down, I'm braced. I can still breathe, okay? I'm gonna hip hinge, rib cage up. As I bring my hands up here, this is what I usually see people doing. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to be going right down so that your ears are right at your biceps, and you're looking down, and you're coming down, and you're sitting, and then you're gonna come right back up, and these hands go right here under your chin, okay? When your hands are right here under your chin, pretend that I'm putting my hands on your shoulders, and drop those shoulders, you got it? Here we go, breathing in, exhale. Don't go straight with your arms. Touch the backs of those hamstrings. Take a big deep breath. Here we go. Reach. Come back. So as you're coming down, drop your shoulders. And hip hinge. Here we go. Into the heels. All the way into that heel. And then come back. Big breath. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Touch. Come back. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. I'm doing every one of these with you. Do it with me. Yeah. I know what you're doing. You're taking all those breaks. Stay with me. Stay with me. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Heels. 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 Breath. Here we go, here we go. Just 2 more now, just 2 more. Drop your shoulders. Breath. One more. Drop your shoulders. Woo! And come back. Drop your shoulders and come down. Okay. You should be getting warm. Yes. Take a big deep breath. Turn right around to your chair. Okay, this is my chair for today. And I'm just gonna come right down here like this. I'm gonna put my elbows down. I'm gonna straighten my legs. Make sure they're shoulder width. Go into the same move that we just did. Okay, there's a reason I'm doing this way. Put your elbows down, go into your heels, push back into your heels, reach the back of the chair and stretch through. Then bend your elbows, stay down, straighten your legs. Now bend again, go into the heels, stretch your arms way out over the back of the chair. Go into your heels, your ears. When you're in the down position, so now I'm straightening my legs again. Push my body, my chest right into those legs. Now bend into the heels. Reach. Now is when your biceps need to be right, your ears right touching your biceps. Then come back. We got one more here. Straighten, 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 straighten. Now bend, 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 bend. Heels, 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 heels. And then come up. Bring those shoulders around and down, around and down, and around and down. So here's a trainer's tip. When you are out and about and you're doing some of the lifts that we're going to be doing, these kinds of things, this kind of thing, this kind of thing, put your load down periodically and do your shoulder circling, okay? Don't do it fast and jerky. Just take the time and do 3 to 6 forward as we're doing, and take the time to go every direction as far as it can go. What do I mean by that? When I tell you to come forward, I want you to come forward with your shoulders here. See, this is tight. This is not rounded. This is tight. This is rounded. Forward. Then you come up and you bring your shoulders all the way to your ears, and then you push them down and back, and it stretches through here, right through here. Then you push down just as hard as you can, okay? That's what I mean by saying take the time to do the full rotation, okay? A lot of times I'll see people doing a shoulder rotation and they'll just go like this and then they're done. No, 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 take the time to really open the upper back. When you open the upper back, this is tight and this chin is tucked, okay? Then you bring it up, then you bring it down and back and down as far as it can go. And then you reverse, and you come up and back and down, okay? Stay with me. Breathing, this is a good time to get good oxygenated into your brain. Here we go. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do one more move before we get to our load again. Okay? Now this is gonna be a modification of the stair climber. It's a very great move. I gotta be careful that I don't hit Mac. Okay, so I'm going to, you'll see me go onto my fist. I have a pad here. If you have a pad on your chair, or if you have that disc, you know, that we have when I'm at home, put it on your chair, because if you have to hold yourself for any length of time, many of us have some tenderness in our wrist. So you don't want to keep pushing where there's a tenderness in a joint, okay? So I'm going to do my fist right here. I'm going to put my leg back. My elbows are in. My elbows are in and bent. And see how I'm pushing into the back foot there? This should feel like a great stretch to you, but I'm not going to hold it there for very long. Now I'm going to bring it up, take the other one back. Elbows are bent, chin is tucked. And I'm going to be right down there in that position, stretching through that ankle, stretching through that calf, all the way up into my hamstring. Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to keep pressing, and then I'm going to go down again, okay? And then I'm going to start doing a little quicker. So I took the first couple, and I did an elongated hold. I want to make sure that my tummy is tight. This will support your back right now. This done in a step-step position, a little quicker cadence, not super fast, but quicker, is making you use your hips, your leg muscles, especially your foot and ankle, in a really, really good training position, especially if you don't get crazy with it. Okay? So there are some people, and when I train, you know, younger athletes and so forth, they may want to do this in a real hoppy cadence type of a thing. You don't have to do that to get great benefit, but you got to stay with it. So when you step in right here, if I were with you, I can tell you when you step in right here, my hand would be right here. And if I feel you go into flexion, then we'll have to do some corrections. So don't go into flexion, keep your chin tucked. Keep doing this toe back, heel down press. Then come back in. And you actually want to get to where you can do about 3 sets of 10 of these. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real deal right there. Take a breath. I know Kathy's counting. I'm thinking we've done maybe 12 by now. Anyway, that's what I want you to do is stay in this move. Your elbows are bent. Okay, I've got my fist down there. Take a breath. I'm not rounding my back. Breath. Ruby is unaffected by all of this. Okay, 2 more. All right, 2 more right now. 2 more. That's 1 and 2 and. That's how you count that. 1 and 2 and. Okay. And bring it back up and come back up. Now, here's another trainer's tip for when you're traveling. I just did the move that I'm going to go do right now, and then I'm going to do it with this load. So I stepped in to get ready to stand up. See that? So I was in this position. I stepped in, and here's what you want to do. You want to be shoulder width. Sometimes when you're out and about and you're just needing to move a little, get a little stretch going, you don't want to step real wide, but you just step about shoulder width. So here's my bucket that I'm going to be picking up. So you're stepping in and you just come to this. See this? And then go out like you're pointing back with your thumbs. Okay? Now this will work like a charm to help you loosen very tight chest muscles from forward rounded shoulders, forward head syndrome. Okay? You just take shoulder width. See, I'm shoulder width here. See that? Tight tummy, shoulders down, chin is tucked. Then I push the butt back and I pull my thumbs like they're going back. Okay, that's going to make you pull those shoulder blades in like I want them to go. So bring your hands back here. Okay, open and close, tight or braced. Breathing, push, hip hinge, and turn like you're pushing your thumb back. Now keep pushing your thumb back, and your elbows have to be at your waist, right there. Yeah, as you're coming down, don't take those elbows away from your waist. Keep them right there, and then come back up. I know, it's a challenge. Here we go. Push into the heels, and then come back. Take a big breath. Push into the heels. Thumbs are going back. Okay, heels, heels, heels. Hang out down there. Thumbs are back. Okay, now bring the elbows up. And you're right under your chin. And you're pushing your heels down. And then you're going to come back up. Thumbs go back out. Yes, I know. You can't believe that that could be that hard. Okay, elbows at your waist. Palms are up. Go into the toes. Then lift the toes. Go into the toes, lift the heels. Thumbs are back. Knees are very bent. Tight tummy. Toes, heels. toes, heels. Keep the thumbs pushing back. Thumbs are pushing back. They're pushing back. Breath. Keep your shoulders down right now. Shoulders down. Push the thumbs back. Toes, heels. Toes, heels. Toes, heels. And bring it down. Shake out, shake out, shake out. Okay, I'll do Marilyn's favorite. Just take a step and just do a gentle pendulum swing. Okay, this works great if you keep the rib cage up. So the minute that many of us step forward, we're into that forward lean. So I'm saying fight that, don't do it. So see my back leg, my knee is soft. Of course, my front leg is bent, but I want to say rib cage up, shoulders down. And then you just do a gentle pendulum. You're not throwing your arms anywhere, okay? You're just letting them just float as you turn. See that? Yeah, take a moment and do some of these breaks when you're doing tasks, you're doing gardening, you're doing running through the airport or whatever with your bags. Put them down, step out, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, and then do that nice pendulum swing. And see, if I see somebody doing this and they're lifting their arms, I mean, that's a move, but I don't want that effort right now. See, I want a lot of turning to create the swing of the pendulum. And the turning is going on in your trunk, okay? And for some of us, that can be hard because of our back issues, our joint issues. But we're the very ones that need to do some of this, okay? But we just need to do it right. Make sure your back knee is not locked, okay? Needs to be bent. Yeah, just a little bent, a little soft. Okay, shake out, shake out, shake out. How are you feeling? Pretty good? Okay, we got good. We're doing good on our time frame. All right. Here's where we really get going now. Okay. All that other was a preloading, pre-fatiguing, and it was joint health. Okay. Now we're ready to start getting into our real load. So now I've got over 20 pounds in my little bucket in your suitcase. You may not do 20 pounds, but if you say to yourself, oh, I'll never pick up 20 pounds, I will say, let me go check Nancy's shopping bags. I'll bet you there's 20 pounds in one of them. Sorry, Nancy, I had to say that. Okay. Okay. All right. She is chewing her gum right now. Here's my little handle. Okay. This is a workout for the real world. When you go to pick up your load, especially if it's a suitcase, a bag, when you go down, that's the first place people mess up, is actually going down to pick up the bag. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you got your bag here, it could be out there. It could be somewhere way around you. Number one, step up to the bag, to the load, so that you're not reaching way out. So it's close to me. See that? That's number one. Number two, bend to get it correctly. Push your dang butt back. You got to do that. Keep your tummy tight. Now bend that elbow, bend, and when you come up, see, you're not making your joints do it. You're making your muscles do it, especially in your leg and your core. Okay? So now I've got my load here, and I can walk with my load. But if I'm going to walk with my load, I can't significantly drop my shoulder, meaning I can't walk around like that. Okay? That's the second mistake that people make. Okay, now I'm gonna put it down right next to me. See that? Right next to me. And I'm gonna come back up. Take a breath. We're gonna go back down. We're gonna grab it and come up. So all of that should be second nature to you, but it's not. And that's why so many of us screw up our back when we're traveling, okay? Or when we're out working in the garden and we haven't been out there, you know, all winter and we miss so many classes, and then we get out and we act like we're gonna do it like we're ready to do it. So, see how I'm just walking? I'm just walking, I'm keeping my knees soft. I'm not over leaning. I am not over leaning. Okay? How do I not over lean? I keep my knees soft, my tummy super tight, and I keep my elbow bent just a little. And if you have picked up a significant weight for you and you're trying to walk around with it as I'm doing, I'm telling you, you're going to feel it in your shoulders, your back, in a good way. Okay? Then we'll put it down. So when you feel, and you're going to feel it on one side, not the side you lifted. You're going to feel it on the opposite side, because that's how we work. When you do functional work, you work in opposition, you work side by side. So now I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to make the other side work. So what are we going to do? We're going to approach our bag, our weight, and if you have just a weight, that's fine. Get a heavy weight, make it go up to 10 or 15, and you're going to go down and you're going to retrieve it, right? Or you could put it on a chair so that you go down and you pick it up like you're going to pick up a suitcase handle, okay? So here I am. So big mistake people make here is they lock their arm. Drop your shoulders, shoulder width stance, push your butt back, chin tucked, elbows soft. Now when you come up, it's not going to pull your shoulder out of whack, okay? Take a big deep breath and go back down and put it down and then come back up, okay? You got it set good. Then I'm going to just walk around. I'm going to walk around. Breath, 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 breath. So this is my challenge side. And this is such a good training for somebody with a hip replaced. It will force you into keeping that knee soft so that you don't over lean. That is what makes us much more weak. And I know I have a lot of work that I have to keep doing so that I can function in the real world. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing some of this, okay? So I'm just walking around, and you don't have to go fast. In fact, it's better if you go slow. You can do a few steps like normal, and then go a little slower. Breath, 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 breath. Then put it down. And you're going to put it right in the middle now. Right in the middle of your stance. Okay, so now we're going to do some lat work and back work. So, being able to pick up and carry a suitcase or a bucket or something, a load, is very important to independence. Okay, so here's my bucket, right here in the middle, okay? I'm gonna do a wide stance. I'm gonna push into the heels, and then I'm gonna come up against that load, but I'm not gonna lock my knees. So do this with me. If you didn't do anything else today, try to do some of these. Okay, you ready? Heels, push your butt back, keep your chin tucked, pull, and bring those just right up into your solar plexus. See that? Breath, heels, breath, pull. Breath, don't jerk it, pull. So you're gonna come up to a full straight leg. Keep your knees a little bit soft, even at the top. keep them a little soft. Why? Because I want you to keep your legs engaged the whole time. When you lock your legs, that's where you're trying to get a little rest. I'm saying, don't get your rest in that manner. Okay, pull. So this is all the back shoulder. Latissimus dorsi is doing this pull. And everything else is working as your stabilizers. Breath, pull. Breath, push your butt back. Every time you go down, push your butt back really hard. Breath. Okay, now we're gonna hang out down at the bottom. Don't put your load all the way down. Bend down, go into the heels, and just go 1, 2, 3. Push into the heels, heels. Open and close its knees. See, my load is fixed. Breath, 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 breath. 2 more. And done. Down and come back. That last part, after we did all the pre-work, you should have felt that right through here. Right through here. Not here, through here. Okay? That's where you should have felt that. See where we're at. Okay, we're doing good. All right. Take a big deep breath. We're going to come back up and we're going to end where we began. I had lightened the load. Now I'm at full capacity with my bucket. Okay. So when I go down to pick it up, here's our practice. We go into the heels, keep the elbow a little bit bent and close to us. Then I come back up here and I come here and I come here and I come here. Yeah. Now push equally into both feet. Okay. Bring it up, transfer, and let it crawl down that leg. But don't lock this arm. Pull. So this is the beauty of functional work, like I'm doing right now, okay? Is trying to help you with those muscles, those functional muscles. That's going to make you a much better traveler. You're going to be able to garden better, do all the stuff you want to do. I don't care if it's a sport. See, just bring it up. You can make it go down, but don't lock that arm out. Transfer. So this is going across into the arm now. Across. My knees are soft. I'm into my heels. Cross. And then I'm going to go like I'm going to put it down, but I don't. Like I'm going to put it down, but I don't. Like I'm going to put it down, but I don't. Breath. Down. Don't put it down. One more. Switch. Push your butt back. Take it right with you. Take it right with you. Breath. Breath. Go. Breath. Just 2 more. Breath. 1 more. Breath. Put that bucket down. Shake out your hands. Take your hands. Just like that. Okay, soften up your knees. Okay, tighten. And bring your fingertips right behind your ear. Okay, now open that elbow. You got it? Soften your knees. Drop your shoulders. Breathe. Breathe. Put the other one there. Okay, and it's right behind the head at about the ear level. And I'm just gonna hold them up here. I'm gonna put one there, then the other. See how that's feeling. So this is a modified version of the rack that Kay does every day. I know she does because I spent time showing her this. Okay, but it only works, Kay, if you do it. Okay, big breaths. I know, I'm ragging on some of you guys. Okay, stay with me, don't stop. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your elbows right at that 90 degrees. You do one and then the other. Why am I doing that? Because I know I have a lot of people with shoulder issues that have quit doing this move. So I'm saying the goal of your therapy, of this training, of anything, is to have normal functional moves with no pain. That's the goal. You might say, well, everything we did today, Jeannie, was a pain. Or maybe they'll say, you are a pain. And I will say, I don't care. I'm doing this for you. It hurts me more than it does you. Okay. Step out, walk around, shake your hands. I'll take it off the recording. Before I get in trouble.